back.
We are.
We're back.
Jay's phone turned off.
It just turned off.
It was weird.
It turned off.
Just couldn't bear it anymore.
The internet had enough. It was like, shut him down. So I suggested it was because we were going viral and the whole world was going to the whole world were going to listen to us and we'd be super massive.
I think.
But you don't think that was going to happen?
I think he just broke the internet again.
I think Facebook had picked up all these wonderful keywords like parenting and triggers. Maybe it thought we were terrorists because we kept talking about triggers.
You think?
Triggers, guns, triggers, right? So maybe they thought that.
Stop it! You've got a beard.
What?
You're gonna have an anti-terrorist squad.
You were the one
tonight
wearing the anti-fa stuff. Anyway, all right. Right. Yeah. So the whole phone just turned off. It's not because it's not charged. I always charge it before we do this because I'm Peterson. So
we talked about triggers.
Why is it that it's never happened before? My phone
it's never happened before. I don't know. My phone turns itself off all the time. So
it's you.
Oh.
It's you.
Oh.
That's
Do you think I've got such a strong, energetic field that I turn devices off?
Yeah, it's all the negativity, you idiot.
I'm the most positive person you've ever seen.
Right.
Anyhow, yes, we were talking about triggers in parenting, and my point was...
The phone turned off. But we're back. So
yes.
Don't panic. It's okay. Don't panic. No, really. It's okay.
It's okay. We're fine.
It's okay.
We're all right.
Yes. Don't press the heart lots of times. Don't do that.
Kids didn't kill us yet or anything. Anyway.
No.
Yeah. So I was saying that triggers in parenting. It's good to be aware of triggers in parenting because, you may as well realize that it's not the kid that's making the problem.
Well, it's not the kid.
It's not the kid because nobody can. Kids can't make you feel anything. Nobody can make you feel anything. That's what I came up with.
When kids have
that's why I realized
what they need in their environment, then they're not going to make any problems.
If they make you feel something strongly negative, it's probably because they're showing you the mirror.
Yeah, it's probably not their fault. I mean, they're just showing you yourself, basically.
Yes.
So,
and that's when people get triggered.
So I like to make little notes when people are talking about their perspectives on things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here are the little notes that I made when we were talking about.
You're taking notes when I was talking.
Yeah, I think life without notes means you miss a lot of stuff. So I like to keep notes. As you can see, there's some notes over there.
You have a lot of notes everywhere.
They're very neatly organized.
I keep notes as well, but then.
Oh, those notes that are kind of thrown into that little hole.
They're
on
like
the shelf over there.
They just end up everywhere, and then I can't find anything.
Wait. Your notes just end up everywhere. It couldn't have anything to do with the fact that you're disorganized.
Well, even if I was organized, I never go back to them, I just...
Because you're disorganized.
Right.
Caught, right? Caught.
Yeah, I mean...
You don't want to admit it, do you?
I had organized notes and notebooks, and then I would kind of find a notebook like 3 years on and find these old notes and look at them and think, oh my god, this is what I was thinking about back then? That's crazy.
Well, you obviously haven't connected the past, sort of strongly to the present. So, I mean, it's a step-by-step process. And as we just discovered, the notes don't end up everywhere by themselves. Somebody puts them everywhere. So it's perhaps a lack of order in your systematic structure of note-taking and planning and organization. The problem that I have is that I have so many notes, I kind of don't know what to do with them.
That's exactly my point. I mean, you take notes all your life, and what do you do with them?
Okay, what do you do with them? There are some things that you carry forward, and there are some things you put to the side.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
That's what you do. You carry forward the important daily events that you need to do. Whether it's you have to do it today because of today, or you have to do it today because of where you want to be next year. And the other stuff you put to one side. There's only 24 hours in a day, so there's only so much that you can do, right? So you work out how much time you've got to do the things that you need to do. You work out what your priorities are, what's important. You focus on those things first, step by step, day by day. You do the priorities first, and you take steps forward. That's the way that you can't read my writing. No, be careful, because these.
You just bumped into it.
Yeah, but I bumped into it because it went all dark. It just went from light to dark.
That's because your light is turning itself off.
It's not light.
There you go.
The tablet.
So what did you write in your little notes?
Right. Although it was interesting that you said that you don't want to change the person, right? You wanted to change the relationship, but not the person. That's what you said. I tried to make I try to have directly the words you use. Okay, so let me finish.
So what was that?
Let me finish. Yeah, you said you don't want to change the person, but you wanted to change the relationship.
No, I think I was talking about behavior.
Yes, of
Behavior
course.
of the
Yes,
children.
yes, the behavior of the person. You don't want to change the behavior of the person, but you want to change the relationships that exists.
Okay.
So that's a nature of understanding that you only have control over what you do, right?
Yes.
Control what you can control. That's you. What you can't control, don't worry about it. Just don't. Somebody else I was listening to said that today. I think it was who was it? Joel Skousen from World Affairs Brief. I think you found on the internet. Yeah, he was talking about systems for changing, systems for influencing people around about you. And he was like, well, you control what you can control, and you just don't worry about the rest, and you move forward. That's it. Don't think too much about it. Do what you can, where you are, with what you've got, and you'll be okay. So, he also said triggers are historical. I think that's true. I think that the present emotional state is very much related to patterns in life, things that happened in the past. So there are definitely connections there. Everything is connected to everything else. Now, you said that people often feel like they deserve something. That is...
Like they are
great.
not...
This is great, because this is recorded. You can go back and listen to yourself.
I said, I didn't say deserve. I said they're not getting something that they feel that maybe should be getting.
Yeah, that they feel they should deserve. Okay, so that's entitlement. And entitlement is always a false paradigm. To believe that you're entitled to anything at all is completely false. It's an attempt to persuade it's an attempt by you to persuade yourself that you're right. And that's it. And if you remember the 10 basic rules that I gave earlier, right? One of them was that you own your body and nothing more, right? You're not entitled to anything.
No,
You're not entitled to anything more at all. So entitlement is a false psychological paradigm where you feel you should have something that you don't really deserve.
it's not about deserving. I think it's about, because it's not. This is not things that you can deserve. You know, like not free. Like undisturbed time in the shower is not something you can deserve. Right? It's
but
just,
you can still feel that you're entitled to it.
you know,
I'm entitled to time to myself. Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes,
Well, no. You're just in the position that you are in life because of the choices that you've made. You're not entitled to anything.
Exactly. Actually, if you know what, when people can make this change, not the change. When people can make this realization, can you shut shush for a second.
Gonna feel real good. Gonna
Then let me talk, oh yeah.
Oh. I was just trying to put in a bit of spice for people watching because
Yeah, I know, but I forgot what I was to say now.
it's because my impression of Michael Jackson was
So
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Gonna feel so good, real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make as I turn up the collar of my favorite winter coat. I see the kids from
So, yeah.
without enough to eat.
I don't know whether you've noticed,
Who am I
but
to go
you probably haven't because you're not a mother. But
No.
maybe you have.
Not yet.
But
You know.
this shift in the mindset, you know, the shift from the entitlement to acceptance of the situation is actually a very powerful thing.
It's also very
It can-
difficult.
It can change, it can transform everything. Everything. I have one particular situation in mind, okay? The
Go for it.
situation with shower is okay as well, but
Talking to yourself in the shower.
yes. No. So, this particular situation I have in mind is sleeping, right? When you have a little baby, a newborn,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be awake a lot at night, yeah? And mothers often have problems to cope with it because they feel like they should be getting proper sleep. Okay, they know that they know that kids are little and they need breastfeeding a lot of times at night, but still, you know, they kind of get up every time when the baby needs to breastfeed, and or even doesn't have to be breastfeeding, just feeding, okay? And they kind of count how many times he was up, and then in the morning they're gonna go like, oh my god, he was up 6 times and I had to feed him and I didn't sleep at all, and they just, the mindset is in the entitlement mode where they feel like they should get some more sleep just like they were used to before, because otherwise everything's going to be bad and they're going to be tired, and you know, the whole day will be ruined. And often you don't need the baby to sleep more to be more rested. You need to change your mindset to acceptance, because once you accept that the baby is going to get up often at night, you stop counting it, you just roll with it, okay? You just roll over and, you know,
roll with it.
let the baby have what the baby needs, and you accept the situation. You're more relaxed because you accepted it. Yeah. So you're not tense mentally. You're more relaxed, and you get a better night rest, even though you had to get up more often. So the shift in the mindset is huge, and mothers often don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. You know, they ask a question: what am I supposed to, what can I do to stop my baby waking up 8 times a night?
But it's normal for the baby. So
And they don't want to hear stop freaking counting it and just get over it, you know, because it's a hard thing to hear.
yeah, especially as the mother thinks that they're in control of the situation. But
Yeah,
really they're
no,
not.
you just have to accept it. And as soon as you accept it, you will be calmer, baby will be calmer. They probably will sleep better, you know, knowing that you're not counting it. So it's a big thing. It's the entitlement to acceptance shift is a big thing. Underestimated, I think.
Yeah, it's a hard road to go down, because you got to realize it's you, and you have to be willing to change, and you have to be willing to work on yourself, and you have to be willing to realize that it's going to take time.
And you have to accept the fact that
She's
I don't know,
Sorry.
she's looking for a little dog or something.
blue. She's not the blue dog.
Okay, someone forgot Lego Duplo in her bed. I think that was you, Zora.
Comfortable. Okay. That's cool.
So see
Okay.
like this, okay? We know that we've got kids and they're going to say things and disturb us, right?
Kids are going to be kids.
But
That's
we
it.
accept it, okay?
We do.
We don't freak out because of it or try to not make it visible in the video or something similar. Okay? So the yeah, it's difficult.
It is what it is. Right?
It's difficult to accept that you're just not going to get something. And
But
that's
once you
it.
do accept the fact that you're not going to
But
get
once
it,
you do accept that you're not gonna, you're just
probably get
not
closer
gonna
to
get it.
you probably get closer to getting it once you accept the fact that you're not going to get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you probably step into a different
And with
frame of mind.
parenting, it's not, it's not such a big deal because the kids are small for just a while, right?
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, they're probably not going to come into my shower when they're 17, and
Probably. Probably.
just to tell me what's going on.
They're not. They'll be scared.
Well, exactly. Yeah. So so yeah, whatever. Bring them in.
Bring them in.
Bring them in.
Bring them in. Bring it on. Right.
Bring beer as well.
What?
Let's have a party
Hello?
in the shower, in the fridge.
No. Right. Moving on. I'm losing the plot here. So let's recap. Don't change the person. Change the relationship. Begin with yourself. The triggers are historical, I think, which means we've got to go back. We've got to know ourselves. Know yourself. Know thyself. Know your own history. Everything begins with knowing yourself.
They don't always have to be historical. They can actually be biological as well.
We talked about that a little bit before, didn't we?
You can be hangry.
Hangry.
You can be hangry
What's that?
when you're when you're angry because you're hungry.
Oh, okay.
You do that often.
What?
That's a man thing, actually.
A man thing.
Yeah. You hungry, you just could kill everybody.
You're not angry. You're just hungry. Now sit down, shut up, and eat.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wrong to feel that you deserve something because I think life is about living in service to the world, to other people, to your family, to the universe.
No.
And so to think that you deserve something, that someone should be serving you, I think that
Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's always nice to get it. Okay.
Hey, Rado, I wonder if he's still in select.
But you can,
Hi, guys.
you can just,
say hello to the family.
even if you just move from the I deserve this or I should be getting this, if you can move from that to it would be nice if I could get it, even that's a good shift. Because you're admitting that you don't have to get it and it's okay. But it would be nice if you could.
Yeah. The entitlement thing bugs me. People who think that they automatically should have something just because of the position that they're in.
I think I need to
it's
go
the
and talk to Zora.
Is she
Okay.
freaking out about Duplo in her bed?
Something's going on.
Okay. So there's this idea that people should automatically get something. Or that people should automatically listen to you because of the position that you're in. No, you've got to earn. You've got to earn the respect of everybody around about you. Even if you're a parent, you have to earn the respect of your children by doing the right thing. Mother and father come not from the fact that they're nouns and persons, but from the actions that they do. Thanks, Phil. It's to mother. It's the actions of the mother. It's to father. It's the actions of the father. You're not a father just because you have a kid. You're a father because you work hard at becoming a better person and providing the right kind of environment for your kids. You're not a mother just because you have a kid. You're a mother because you work hard to love and care and nurture your children. So parenting is about the work that you put in to the job, because it's a lifelong commitment to be there for your children at all times. And I don't think it gets easier as you get older. I think it gets more difficult. I think each year becomes progressively more difficult and prepares you for the next step. Yanka, you coming back? You cooking? You just started cooking in the kitchen over there. What's going on? What? You're helping Zora? I thought Zora went to bed. She's what? Kind of. I don't. You see, this middle road gets me. What triggers me? Middle roads, right? Kind of. I say, I thought she went to bed. Like, is she in bed or is she not in bed? Well, kind of. What does that mean? Kind of. That triggers me. Middle road answers.
She's in bed, but she's not sleeping.
So she's in bed.
Yes.
Well, if she's in bed, that's good. That's progress. Because then, she will fall asleep eventually if she's in bed. So that's progress. It's going. She, of course, naturally, right. Whatever she needs. That's our job. So, the problem with triggers being historical is that what you miss very often doesn't come back, right? Let's take a really simple example. Well, let's take a really simple example. Let's say you miss breakfast, right? Well, you can't go back and have breakfast again. Let's say you welcome back. Let's say you didn't get a lot of love and care and attention that you needed when you were a kid, or even the food that you needed, the nutrition that you needed. You can't get it back as an adult. You don't get a second chance at it. So you kind of need to be there all the time and realize that a lot of the historical triggers it's basically not possible to fix them. You can only go forward, you can't go back. So you've got to work with what you've got where you are, and I've already said that today. So trigger is basically a loss of control, and it's important to be really, really honest with yourself. And this connects a little bit, being honest with yourself about the fact that you need to work on yourself and accept the reality, and the fact that most of the solutions, the problem is not them, the problem is you, right? Blaming a kid for being a kid is obviously a huge mistake. So
which a lot of people do, actually.
yeah, but he's just a kid. Yeah. See, what triggers me?
Cables
down the front. Cables in the front trigger me. All those little things, right? Remember, if you've got any questions about practical parenting, then you can just leave them in the chat section and we'll get around to them sooner or later. Remember, you get a special prize if you write a question in the chat for us. I will send you a copy of The Trees That Became Men, my first book.
It's just bribing, isn't it?
It's incentivizing. We talked about that.
Of course, sorry, bad word.
Bribes and incentives. It's incentivizing the action. Without incentive, nothing exists. So nothing moves without incentive. There's incentive in every single thing that we do. You just incentive to stay alive is incentive. So, what I wanted to talk about is that internal motivation. So the Washington Post, you can find this on my Facebook page, Washington Post article. Paying people to go to the gym doesn't work. There was an experiment. They tried it, right?
Yeah.
They decided to pay people, or basically give them gift vouchers, right? So they don't have to pay to go to the gym. Didn't give them cash, but they gave them the gym vouchers so that they never ever had to pay to go to the gym. Yeah? And the people didn't do anything. It didn't work. They didn't go to the gym regularly. Of course, they all started with good intentions, but there was a steady decline and eventually nobody went to the gym. It didn't work for anybody. Giving people free access to the local gym, and I think they studied like 200 to 300 people. Yeah, they gave this to. And it did not improve the quality of anybody's life, and they didn't go to the gym regularly.
That's
How
sad.
crazy is that? So they gave them free membership, right, basically to the gym. and they discovered that people are not motivated in a strong way by external factors.
No.
Now you can motivate people externally, of course. You put a gun to somebody's head, and you'll get
You dangle some money in front of them.
you'll get an instant result, but not a long-term effect. That's what you'll get. So they tried hiring coaches for these people. They tried electronic I know.
Why didn't they try with me?
Because you'd probably fail as well. Because everyone else failed, so why would you be any different? Right?
Well, they wouldn't want to do it with me because I already have the internal motivation. They were probably looking for people who don't have any. Right?
They were looking for people who don't have any motivation to try to get them motivated to go to the gym. But the end
I mean,
result
that
was
would be
they didn't
logical, right?
motivate anyone at all.
They would try to look for people who have no internal motivation whatsoever in this area
That's insane.
to see if an external motivation would work. But then I could have told you that because, I mean, if you want to get fit,
Story of my
right?
life, that.
If you want to get fit, you don't need a voucher to go to the gym. You can start doing it in your living room, right? You don't need a personal coach. You start doing it and you do it and you get fit, right? So
Yeah, it's about creating the right environment for it, isn't it? And creating a regular habit, basically, and a good habit. Anyway, they tried electronic reminders for people.
that's the electronic.
Sending messages to their phones.
I've done so
etc.
many electronic reminders in my life, and it doesn't work at
It
all.
doesn't work with you.
At all.
Okay. They tried mapping out goals. That didn't work. They tried setting challenges. That didn't work. Although setting challenges for people improved the progress a little bit, it still died off, and eventually they didn't go to the gym at all. The most positive effect they had was when they grouped people into communities and got them working together with each other. That was where they had the most positive effect.
Because they got them emotionally invested.
But even that died off after a period of time, which I think to me shows that the community needs to change. You need to change the community that you're in as you change.
It needs to
go forward.
progress,
Yes,
because
yeah, absolutely.
when it stays the same, it's going to die off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, and the whole project, it's just discovered that paying people to go to the gym basically doesn't work. The external motivation is not as powerful as the internal motivation. And there's a bigger message there, that it's not just about motivation. It's about society. That paying people to do things does not create the best result for society. People need to find what they're good at, what they love, and work at that
Yeah.
in order to improve the quality of society. If you're just doing the job for the money, it's not going to have a positive effect on you. And I would take this one step further, because I'm an extremist, of course. Right, that's probably going to get us cut off the internet again. Right, I would take
It's
this
not.
one step further, because I'm an extremist. Right, I would say that it's the reason why socialism doesn't work, because you can't pay people to not have a job. It's just not motivating. It's not motivating in any sense at all. There's no incentive there. First, you have to create value before value will come to you. You have to go out into the world and make value and create value. So, I thought it was a very interesting article. You can find the article on my Facebook page. Washington Post article, paying people to go to the gym doesn't work. Wow. So, if you feel like, giving me money every time I go out for a jog or, whatever else.
Yeah, we've
How
got
about-
gym just around the corner, actually, so
Or we could have some kind of...
go ahead.
We could have some kind of, like, every time we do a chin-up, like we put money in a jar or something like that.
That would just make me stop doing chin-ups. I mean,
make you poor, because I'd just go and do lots of chin-ups.
exactly. I
Basically.
mean, what's the point? What's
Yes,
the
but
point in
you-
punishing myself
Yes,
for
but
doing
you give money
chin-ups?
to me, you're better.
Shut up. You'd be extremely poor, because I can hardly do one chin-up, right? I can do like a half a chin-up. So
Yeah.
I'd like put 50 cents in, right?
Yeah.
You can do how many?
How many chin-ups?
It's like 10, 12.
I don't know. I don't count. I only start counting when it hurts.
You start counting after 100.
That's a Muhammad Ali quote. Right, from the 70s.
Oh,
It's a really famous quote.
you start counting when it hurts.
Yeah, he was asked, how many chin-ups, how many press-ups do you do? He said, I
Uh-huh.
only start counting when it hurts because that's when it matters.
Okay.
So, so if I start counting when it
Right.
hurts, then I do one. Basically, and then I have to stop.
Well, to me,
There you go.
it hurts all the time. So there you go. I do.
You
I
got to
do.
go through it. You got to grind through the painful experience.
I do a half a chin up.
Half a chin up.
Half a chin up.
How do you know it's half a chin up? What's half a chin up? How do you know? How do you know what's half?
It's when you cheat yourself to get to a half, and then you just pull yourself the other half. You
How
know?
can you cheat?
Well, I jump up.
You jump and the motion
Yeah.
carries you up to the ball.
I kind of I bounce myself off the floor, so I get to about here,
Yeah.
and then from here I can get myself up. But I couldn't get myself up if I was just hanging like that.
How does it feel when you do that? How do you feel? Do you feel like, yes, I've done it? Or are you like, oh, I kind of cheated myself a bit? How do you feel?
No, I feel like, okay, if I'm going to practice it this way for a little while,
Mhm.
perhaps in a week I'll be able to do it the proper way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's still pretty bloody difficult to do that. You know?
It's a slow process. It
Yes.
comes over time.
Yes. Yes.
Been there, done that, wrote the book, so there you
I'll
go.
let you know when I do my first chin up.
Okay. We should celebrate.
Yes.
We should celebrate, definitely. Right. There's one more short article that I'd like to mention, if possible. If you go to the Facebook page, you'll find an article from The Atlantic, which is obviously an American website. And it's a really fantastic article. It's a huge, long article. You know how, like, a lot of modern articles are just like 10 lines.
Yeah.
Right. With
And
it's just like
highlight
line, space, line, space, line, space. Right.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Some of them are
this
like
is like a
6
book.
pages.
this
right?
this is like a book, basically.
Okay.
And I didn't read through it all because I thought, oh, I can read through this in 20 minutes. And in 20 minutes, I got like halfway through it, and I was just like, wow. It's really real in-depth article. The article is, have smartphones destroyed a generation? And
Okay.
it's about the effect of smartphones on what do we call them? The millennials.
Yeah, I
You
guess
know,
so. Uh-huh.
Those that were
Well, us?
born.
The younger than us? Just
I think
just
those that are-
younger than us?
Those who would be like 17 now, the people like born after the year 2000. Right?
Ah, okay.
In the year 2000, yeah. And
Okay.
they're growing up in the technotronic era. The
Okay.
technological era with all the smart technology, the tablets, the phones, and everything else all around about.
Okay.
And so they discovered that there has been a huge shift, and we can see this anyway in society, in the habits of young people,
Mm-hmm.
where using the smartphone has replaced most other habits that young people had. Now they've got a list. This is very interesting.
Okay.
That instead of smoking, people are using their phone.
Okay.
Instead of dating, people are using their phone.
No.
Yep. They're spending more time on their phone and less time dating.
Seriously?
Yeah, because they've got the phone. Now, of course, we know there are applications on phones to counteract this. Yeah, so that you can find dates. And I think in Western society now, 50% of people find their partners through internet connections now. It's an incredibly high statistic. It's
I
really
believe
wild.
that completely because, yes, I mean, yeah.
I mean, I find that really, I find it hard to believe because I'm from the pre-internet generations where you had to go out to the pubs, the clubs, the bars, the social groups.
I don't think it's
the
a bad
other-
thing,
and
though.
meet people.
I don't think that's a bad thing because
Oh, I agree.
you know, you are more likely to find people that are like-minded, and
Mhm.
you don't have to kind of blindly pick. You know, maybe this person will have the same interests that I do because on the internet the groups are usually like
you can find
groups with the
people
same
who
kind of thinking.
have similar values to yourself.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that's a good thing. People were very isolated in the past, and now they've got a chance and reach out to people who have similar interests to themselves. Conversely, on the negative side, it narrows your spectrum of understandings.
Yes, that's true.
So
Yeah, well,
so
it's
you
got,
don't get to meet people
pros
who
and
have
cons.
different perspectives. So you're not challenged to grow in that kind of sense. Right. So smartphones have also replaced driving. People would rather use their phone than drive their car.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. It's replaced rebellious ideas. They'd rather use their phone than rebel against something.
Okay.
They'd rather use their phone, this is a crazy one, than have sex, according to the study. They'd rather use their phone than drink alcohol. They'd rather use their phone than work. Now, that's understandable for a lot of people. They'd rather use their phone than do homework. They'd rather use their phone than study. They'd rather use their phone than meet friends. Now, why is this important? All of this is important because there's a direct correlation between time spent using a phone and being unhappy.
Uh-huh.
Because the one thing that the phone can't do is make you happy.
So the longer you use your phone per day, the more
Yeah.
unhappy you are.
Exactly. The more it replaces all of the important interactions you need to have to grow as a person in society.
Mm-hmm.
And the more unhappy and dissatisfied you become, and depressed as well as a result, according to this study. And it's a really, really in-depth study, and got graphs and charts, and they got data. And I only got halfway through the article, and those are the notes I made after only getting halfway through the article. It's quite incredible.
Mm-hmm.
That
Sounds very
society
interesting.
is changing so much. So go to the Facebook page and you'll find the article there. Check it out, read through it. I recommend it. It's
Don't read it on
it's
your
great.
smartphone, though.
It's great. It's great. So yeah. Don't read it on your phone. Read it. I don't know how people are going to print it out. Read it on paper if you can. Right. Who prints things out anymore? Anyway.
I
Right.
used to.
There we
Well,
go.
the printer worked.
So that's I think we're rounding things off here because Aladdin has finished.
Yes, that means this has been too long anyhow. This has been part 1 and part 2, people.
Yeah, this is so. If you're catching up with this part 2, part 1, the phone just turned off halfway through, so we're doing this in 2 parts today.
So put the cable again.
It's
Yeah. I think we're fairly exhausted the topics.
Speak for yourself.
We've exhausted the topics.
No, we never exhausted it. I could go on and on and on talking about this.
I
Speak
know.
For yourself,
I know you
okay?
could. And he is going to go on and on and on as well.
Will, could you not project cars as planes and throw them across the room? Thank you.
Will, Zora's calling you, darling.
Right. Kids all shouty in the background there.
Yeah.
In the future, we're going to have some guests on. Not quite sure how we're going to do it technically, but we're going to make it happen.
That would be super cool.
If you'd like to come on as a guest and talk about parenting, we'd love to have you. Leave a message for us. Remember, if you leave a question for us in the chat, then you do get a special prize. I'll send you something to brighten your day. What else have I got to say? I don't know.
Yeah, that's all.
We finished Once Upon a Time yesterday. We finished series 6 of watching Once Upon a Time. Now, if you haven't watched Once Upon a Time, get on the internet, find yourself a copy of the series, and we've watched through 6.
Legally.
Legally. No,
do it all legally.
No, don't. Get a torrent and download it. Don't worry about it being legal. Life's too short, right?
There's a plane coming over the building. I think it's the
What?
first plane I've ever seen in the night. And it's coming over the building.
Okay.
Right. Okay, great.
And
Do you want
it's
to...
going to appear again on that side.
Okay, go quiet.
Cool.
Hey, don't wake your sister. Go. Do you want to go out on the balcony?
Don't
and have a
step on
look?
Jasmine.
Go out onto the balcony and see if you can see it. Okay?
Okay.
A plane. A night
plane. A plane going over the building. Okay.
I guess she's lying in her bed. She can see out the window. And
Shall we
stuff.
say bye-bye?
Well, we can't We can't say bye-bye because we've got nothing to watch. Because we've watched all of the episodes of Once Upon a Time and we have to wait a month now.
I have a massive translation to do by the 7th of September.
You've got
so
work to do.
I have
You don't work, do
I
you?
have a lot of work
Oh
to
my
do.
gosh.
So,
Right.
look,
Um,
why don't you start watching Star Wars Rebels again?
I'm going to go
William?
back and watch the episode of Once Upon a Time that's a musical.
Okay, what?
Because I love the pirate song.
All right, so
Why are they shouting on the balcony?
I hope they're not leaning over or anything. So, yeah, you go back and
Guys,
watch the
don't climb
musical.
on anything over there.
You go back and watch the musical, and I'm gonna work. Okay.
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 Okay, I can deal with that.
Okay.
Okay. Practical Parenting will be back tomorrow. We're going to try and do an hour every day for a month. And if you've got any questions, as I said, let us know. We'd like to hear from you about what you like, what you don't like. If you do like it, please share it. We appreciate that. You can subscribe to the daily email. You can visit www.nsa-slovakia.com, the website. You can check us out on Pinterest. YouTube channel is massive now. Check out our YouTube channel. And wow, it's always an honor to sit here with you each evening and talk about parenting.
Thank you. Thank you as well. Thank you.
Live in gratitude.
Thank you too.
Speak to you soon.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.